Album Concept Hour. The Album Concept Hour. It's the Album Concept Hour.
Welcome everybody to the Album Concept Hour podcast. My name is Brad LeBaron, and I am your host as always. And we have, as usual, our virtual co-host, Virtual John. What's going on, John?
JB Johnny Boy checking in, bro. How you doing?
Doing pretty good, man. How you doing between your first COVID shot and now, man?
No, I'm doing great.
Doing good?
Nothing wrong with me yet, man.
Tight.
Everything's checking in.
Yeah.
We even just had a COVID test at work.
Nice.
And
he works.
not negative, nothing. So
he works with old folks, so he's like
yes, correct.
Front of the line for getting the shots. I was like,
I don't want to infect them while I'm making their food, you know.
Yeah, that would be really not cool, you know.
That would spread to a lot of people. So,
But we also have virtual Dave, hopefully going to be showing up at some point, but he's having technical difficulties. But this week we have a very special guest. He is one of the. Wait, are you just all the hosts in this podcast? You do? I can't quite tell if there's like a co-host at all.
We're all the hosts. We're all the hosts.
They're all the hosts. This is Marty Kaszubowski from the podcast Spoofs, Goofs, and Novelty Songs.
Getting the plug correct. That's you like that when you get introduced.
Well, I messed it up last time I attempted it on this podcast. So.
Yeah, I heard. I've heard.
I was like, all right. I gotta ban this. But you have this really fun podcast called Spoofs, Goofs, and Novelty Songs, and you want to just I guess tell people kind of what this thing is about.
Yeah, so my podcast is called Spoofs, Goofs, and Novelty Songs, and it's pretty straightforward. Every week, myself and my two co-hosts, Scott Carey, Kelly Danon, we review one spoof movie, one novelty song, and one novelty product.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And what the three things end up being is usually the spoof movie is something we predetermine every week, and each of us watches the movie and we talk about it, right? Yeah. The song is always presented like sort of show and tell style by one of the hosts, and then the product is also always presented show and tell style, so that there's a little bit of surprise element for the two other hosts, which is like the stupidest.
Get some of that improv in there. Very nice.
Sure, yeah. It's like the stupidest gimmick that we do, but I always enjoy the surprise part. But I get made fun of for liking that. So, but yes, that's the podcast. We're very loose with what the determination of novelty song and novelty product is, though. So
so are we, dude.
Yeah,
we're like with our concept stuff.
Yeah. We're a little loose. If you're gonna do so many episodes, you got to be a little bit loose with the definitions there.
I will say today's album, concept album is, but yeah. If this is a concept album, most things are a concept album. Then you could argue.
Indeed. But this one,
it's all about finding. It's all about digging deep enough.
Well, so. Yes. We're doing the Magnetic Field's 69 love songs, but we're not going through 69 songs today, guys. We're going through 23 of them, just the first disc, and so we're I forgot where I was going with that, but I was listening to an episode earlier from your podcast, though.
Okay.
And I was wondering about just one particular thing. You talked about the movie Year One. Mm-hmm. That's one of the episodes that I listened to.
Okay.
And you guys, you didn't quite like it too much. You didn't have a great opinion of it, but I really, really enjoyed that movie for literally the reasons that you guys hated it.
Oh no.
But to be fair, at the time I was living with 5 people in a 2-bedroom apartment, and we had 3 DVDs. And this was one of the movies we watched.
What you gotta do.
That's a low. What are the other 2 DVDs, and why was this the one that you liked?
Oh, I mean, I learned to like all 3 of them. But
what were the other 2 DVDs?
Yeah, and now I gotta know.
There was the one with the dude. I'm blanking.
Big Lebowski.
Big Lebowski. Yes, there's the Big Lebowski.
So it was literally the dude, not just a dude. It was the dude.
No, it was the
I
dude.
The in reference to that dude.
Okay. Right.
Yeah,
right.
The dude.
A dude. Yeah.
I'm the dude, man.
And the other one was Snatch. Yeah. The jewel heist movie with Brad Pitt as a gypsy.
Yeah.
That sounds horrible.
Guy Ritchie.
Right? It's good. Of the three movies, year one is for sure the worst one of those three. It's like not even close.
And so I loved it because it was lazy and because it did it went from Stone Age to Bible stuff. I was like, that makes zero sense from any point of view. I love this. But just the like kind of like almost fuck you approach that the directors and writers were taking toward you as a viewer, I thought was entertaining to me.
Yeah, you know? I'll agree with you there. It definitely has an approach of we don't care what the audience wants to happen.
Yes. Yeah. We're just doing it. And you're gonna watch it or not watch it. Probably not watch it according to the numbers. But yeah, one thing you mentioned though is like peak Michael Cera, peak Jack Black, and like you guys were like, why did they do this? And there is no good reason. But I recommend you guys. What's up?
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I recommend you guys listen to some episodes. It's a really fun podcast. I've been enjoying it.
No, dude, it sounds really cool. What are like before we move on here? Like one more question. What are some of like the movies you guys have done?
So we've
just
done.
Like, give me like 2 or 3.
Okay, we've done like 70 episodes, right? We've done.
Okay.
We've done your big hits. We've done Blazing Saddles. We've done.
All right.
Top Secret, Wet Hot American Summer, Austin Powers. I mean, we hit like the classic spoof movies, and then we also kind of like stretch what a spoof movie necessarily is. Like we've done like
Airplane.
We haven't done Airplane yet. We're saving that one.
Oh, okay. No, I get that. We do that too. Yeah.
We're saving Dark Side of the Moon. You know.
There you go. That's like the concept album, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. You know, maybe at 100 or something. I don't know.
That's
Well,
I'm not gonna say.
We're getting closer. We're getting closer every episode, Brad.
But
anyways,
yeah. I was wondering though, getting into this album, do you think that this is an album of novelty songs?
So I would argue
by your definitions.
Yes, I would argue like a bunch of these songs are, but not all of them. But some of them, the like animal-based ones and the joke ones and the like the parody ones are all for sure novelty songs. Like the Hunk Love, we'll get to the specifics when we get to these songs. But like the ones that are like supposed to be like a take on a genre or whatever, like absolutely, like that. They're doing so many bizarre things with all of the musical instruments and the pacing and melodies and how everything plays with each other in each of the tracks. Like it's a very strange album.
Yeah.
Plus, like our definition of novelty song is, does it use a goofy old instrument? Then it's a novelty song. And this is full of songs of goofy old instruments. Like it's just weird.
It's like in almost like a, in almost a Sufjan Stevens way. It's got like a little bit of every instrument involved in some way at some point. I think there's maybe a lot of people were doing this. Well, this is 99, so I guess this is like right before Sufjan era, but all sorts of like this is just all sorts of genres, all sorts of perspectives on love songs, and it's only the first disc, so there are a ton more than just this. So we're gonna do the first disc though, so that's like I said, 23 tracks. And you guys want to jump into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So this first track is Absolute Cuckoo.
Don't fall in love with me yet. We only recently met. True, I'm in love with you, but you might decide I'm not. Give me a week or two to go absolutely cuckoo. Then when you see your error, then you can flee in terror like everybody else does.
Yeah, this one I actually recognized when it came on. This is like the first time I'm like, wait a minute, I guess I have heard some of this.
Yeah, this is one of the bigger ones off the album, I think. And I think a lot of that's because it's like track one. It's for a
That's true.
dense, difficult to get into album. This is like such a good opening for it because it's so light, fast, pleasant. It's just a very nice song to open an album like this up with.
Yeah, they deal with the pacing pretty interestingly because there's, you would think, obviously there are times that there is a song that is like a minute long or less than a minute. That's just like a few stanzas of something, because they have originally, I guess they were going to do 100 songs.
Yeah. And,
landed on 69 because, it's just a lot of fucking songs.
Yeah.
It's a lot of songs.
Yeah. I'm sure like it seemed like a cool idea at first. Like, yeah, we're going to do 100, man. It's going to be dope.
I forget they've done since this album, they've done multiple other like long concept albums like this.
Okay.
I forget. I know he did a 50 song one recently, and I think he did another one that's another like not 69 songs, but it's something around there. I don't think they ever went longer than this though. So I think this is their longest album by far.
Okay. They never topped it though. Yeah.
I don't think so. No.
Yeah. Well, I'll put an edit point in here.
Yeah, please do. Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh, I always, future Brad always loves to correct past Brad and his guests. So, but yeah, this is.
I'll say when I edit my podcast, I just take that shit out. It's just like, if anyone else was like lying or wrong about something, that is just gone. This is gone.
But is it ever so intertwined in what you're saying that it would mess up the flow of it?
So that gets tricky, right? Like that's the thing. But like usually it's like
I'll
only if it's
out,
something where
obviously.
we're just giving incorrect information. That's where I'll take it out. But it's like if it's like an opinion on something and we misinterpreted something, like I would never take that out because it's like I don't care if we look dumb. Like that's
right?
not our
this
job.
Is podcasting. That's what it's
you're
for.
Supposed to look dumb.
Yeah. No, so are you the main editing guy in your team?
Yeah. But like,
that's right. You do sound stuff in your like your career, right? Like
a little bit off and on, but
okay.
But not regularly. Scott's the one who's actually more of the like technical guy when it comes to that stuff because he does like audio engineering for his band and everything.
Okay.
But because we've been recording remotely and we've done 2/3 of our episodes were recorded remotely, that turned into more that before it wasn't as much just me doing it, but now because it's like they have to send me everybody has to send files in and stuff. Turn into easier to just have one person do stuff.
Yeah, it's a different month. I think more than half of ours now are quarantine episodes too. So yeah. it's weird. I don't know if it'll go back to the way it was, but I've learned a lot. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, this track kind of reminded me of like a little bit of like Beirut. Is that how you pronounce that?
Beirut. Yeah.
Beirut. Yeah. There's like a few tracks where like he's kind of channeling that kind of. I don't even really know what that genre.
Plucky, folksy sort of.
Yeah.
Just folksy, I guess is the best.
Does European make sense in this context?
Sure.
Because it feels I feel like I heard it mostly from outside of the U.S. This kind of thing, but I could be completely wrong.
I think this song really sets a good tone for the album, or like for this part of the album that we've listened to. At least, it really, it's got a lot of similar aspects throughout. It really,
like
as far as the concept that we're going for, it very much applies.
Yeah, it's a love song, right? Like it definitely gets us off. And the band was also. Go ahead.
No, it's got a lot of good instrumentation too. That's like seen throughout the album as well. It really, it really shows it's his baby. It's their baby.
Yeah,
and that's good.
Yeah, well, this is mostly the work of what's his name?
Stephin Merritt.
Stephin Merritt, thank you. He has like a handful of projects, and I think he's best known for having music on Pete and Pete. But I'm
sure he would love that. By the way, I'm sure he would love hearing that.
Well, we just talked about Pete and Pete a little bit a few episodes back on the Inspector 34 episode. So I'm like, ooh, Pete and Pete again. I'm just newly aware of Pete and Pete, so I'm excited to talk about it. Such a weird show, man.
I never watched it growing up.
You didn't? You didn't either? Okay. Have you ever seen one?
No.
I've only seen one episode, and I was just astounded at. It was just, I don't know, not what I was expecting for a Nickelodeon show. But yeah, he is the main person behind the like songwriting. I don't know how much of the recording he does. I don't know if it's like, him playing probably a lot of the stringed instruments at least. Yeah. But I'm not really sure about his team behind him. I wonder if Genius knows anything about who's doing it. We got John Woo on the banjo and the guitar, so I guess
not the director though. I don't think.
No, I don't know, man.
It might be.
Maybe he's got friends. This is '99. I don't know what he's doing in '99, but
took a break from Face Off. He's got time.
Was that the one he did?
John Woo, yeah.
Man, wow.
That's his most famous American movie.
Okay. Yeah. That's a top tier movie. Have you guys done Face Off? Oh. Is that a spoof? I guess that's
no,
probably not. Yeah.
It's
very original.
Yes. It's not really a take on anything, though, but it is for sure. I would love to cover it just because it is such a wacky, weird movie.
Yeah, things are more a take on that movie than
that movie kind of was like the.
Yes.
I feel like that movie was definitely peak 90s action thriller, and everything that came after it was in response to it, right? Everything was Steven Seagal, Schwarzenegger, all that stuff built up to Face Off, and then Face Off was that was it.
It was pretty much, you're right. It is pretty much the peak of action cinema, and I don't know. I don't know if they will ever top it. And peak Mission Impossible, taking a face off of your face and you're someone else shit. Yeah, they loved doing that back then. But you guys want to get into the next track though, since there's a lot of these. And then still no sign from Dave, but we'll see what happens. This is I Don't Believe in the Sun.
Before you were gone, but now all I see is the night. So I don't believe in the sun.
Oh man, I love this voice.
What year was this made?
99.
Okay, that sounds right, because that sound was like that. That's a very 90s sound.
I had trouble placing the production in this one here and there because
no, I'm talking about the vocals in that in particular. Really it's very it's very 90s. Kind of makes you think of Crash Test Dummies kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah,
definitely. The band was been around since the late 80s, early 90s, right? So they definitely came up doing lo-fi, synthy, dreamy music that's kind of still has that Pavement feel, and especially because of and this song specifically, shows off his bass voice a lot, and that kind of just lends itself to this pace as much as possible. A lot of the faster songs, he doesn't sing them in all three albums. So
it really it's they do a great job of these first two tracks to first of all be all right, there's gonna be some really fast, exciting shit, and then second track they're you know what, it's gonna get low and somber.
We're gonna bring it down.
Yes, because love isn't all just rainbows and butterflies, So, I think that's his register. That's his best place for his voice, and some people that have that low of a voice don't always take advantage of that voice, because I don't know, I feel like people want to sing high. I feel like there's this thing with singers, they want to hit those high notes for American Idol or whatever. But I'm always impressed by the people that can hold a low note, like this. But yeah, it's a very somber.
So recording the
What? Are you? Marty?
No, it's okay. You're back. You guys were cutting in and out for me. But
Oh, okay.
My internet connection is unstable according to Zoom. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it
does
could be
it to
mine
me a
too.
lot, too.
It's a little of each, I think, because yeah, I don't know. This last couple of weeks, I've been having a lot of internet. All my friends have been having a lot of internet stuff. I think
it's snowing right
school's
now,
in.
so.
School just started, I guess, again too. So
You know, you hate to say it,
yeah,
but like with the COVID stuff, the internet has been like oversaturated a lot.
Yeah, it's true.
yeah.
The usage in America.
Pour one out for the bandwidth,
probably
guys.
the rest of the world.
It's I miss my band.
There's only so much.
We all need fiber.
Use
We need
a
that
lot
Google
of it.
fiber in our diet.
But what we need is that vaccine to work, so we can actually start like
So we can
doing
get back
stuff
to
like normal human beings again.
Oh, you mean like the before times?
Yes, the before times. Dude,
I don't
there's
know.
companies that are doing.
I don't believe in the
commercials that are
sun,
like
John.
that.
I just gotta tell you, John, I don't believe in the sun.
You don't
You know,
believe in the what?
The sun. You know?
No, I believe
don't.
that. You're getting real pale.
How could it shine on everyone, not shine on me, though? You know, like. But no, this
Oh, that's the lyrics to the song.
yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
He likes to get us. Yeah, he got me on this one too.
No.
Yeah, I like to just throw them at
It's a good
you.
transition. Cut out our stuff, Brad. Go.
Edit points. Yeah.
Edit.
Yeah. But yeah, he's very sad in this track. He's very
Yes.
he doesn't believe in the he thinks that like he's one of those guys that's walking around with a storm cloud following him everywhere. You know, he's like,
But it's all that stuff is kind of tongue in cheek in the album though. I mean, like he's not.
Yeah.
All of that stuff is like the whole album is tongue in cheek. Obviously,
Well,
the
yeah,
album is
yeah,
called
yeah.
69 Love Songs. It's all meant to be kind of a joke.
yeah,
but,
like each
but
track
like also like a sweet
yeah.
joke.
Exactly. Well, yeah, one thing that's different for this album that's different from like a lot of our albums is like each track is a completely new story. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like there's not a through line character in this, you know? Yeah.
Even
yeah.
like perspective wise, every song is different gender perspective and different sexuality perspective. Like he plays with that a lot in the
Yeah. I thought that was really interesting because he, he actually, has a female vocalist come in for some of those different perspectives, and sometimes he's, I think, singing those
it's kind of
perspectives
call
too.
and answer stuff. That's always great.
Yeah,
You gotta love that stuff.
Yeah. No, it's really it's gothic, I guess, right? This is what gothic music sounds like.
I mean, like obviously he's dabbling in
80s
like
gothic.
It's got gothic elements.
I don't really
like
know.
Baroque, right? Like there's a lot of like, I mean, there's a lot of harpsichord and like it is like
Baroque.
yeah.
Bringing in the old band talk.
Yeah. Well, I think this guy was in band.
I did marching band for a couple years.
I think this guy was in band. I think this guy was definitely a band.
Stephin Merritt? Yeah, I think the guy who can play like 100 instruments was
Probably
he's
a band
probably in
kid?
band at one
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
Probably fairly sufficient.
Maybe even went to an academy or something as a young child. Who knows? But apparently this one was supposed to be on Gothic. Gothic. I didn't write this well. Archies. Gothic Archies. We'll just say it's Gothic Archies, and I'll correct myself later. So this was supposed to be on an album that was more themed towards that, which is kind of why. And apparently, it was too happy for that album. So they're like,
their other albums are kind of downers. Yeah.
Oh, really? So is that
just,
why they decided to do
as...
69 of these?
I think I'll correct myself. Not downers, but they're not as like upbeat as this album is. This album has a lot more like fast-paced songs and a lot more like bangers, quote unquote. The other albums are a lot more of the synthy, slow,
like kind of like 80s like melodic. Like in the 80s, that was like famous, like really popular.
Dreamy stuff.
Yeah, dreamy, sultry vocals, the effects on vocals that are like too much reverb.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. They love to turn that reverb knob up to 11. But yeah, I never really got that. I wish. Oh man, this is when I wish that David was here or Dave was here because he's the 80s guy. You know, he like, you know, he grew up with that. So like he's where I heard a lot of 80s music myself while I was working with him. Cause like at first I was like, I don't get 80s. I just don't get 80s music at all. It's a whole decade.
It takes a minute. There's a lot of stuff there.
But
there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, now I get it. Like I've contextualized it. You know?
It's like the difference between the 70s and the 80s because there was a lot of stuff there for both of it. Yeah. But in the 70s, it was a lot more poppy, a little more bouncy. Yeah. You know, all of it.
Yeah, it was the 80s. It was all that cocaine.
Down, a little more. Yes, exactly. That kept it very upbeat. And then we kind of had the downturn.
Everyone had to stop doing the cocaine, and then all of a sudden, you know, they're like, we gotta slow down, guys. That was a fast decade.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to go on to the third track, All My Little Words.
Speaking of a fast decade, on to the next.
Oh, my God, right? If we could just somehow fast forward this.
And I could make you rue the day, but I could never make you stay. Not for all the tea in China, not if I could sing like a bird.
That violin is just, it's so good. There's a lot of little flourishes in this album that are just like perfectly done. And it's the stuff that makes this album go from just like a decent, fun idea to like an actually like amazing album.
Well, yeah, because
violin here is perfect.
This is like, I mean, I know some people don't like this phrase, but this is like an instant classic kind of song because it's just, it's the way that the violins swell with the, I believe, banjo. There,
yes,
it's just they're perfectly like in line with each other, you know. I would love this is something I'd love to see like live. I feel like this is like a song where like the entire crowd's just weeping openly.
They've played the whole album live like 4 times, I think,
all
like
69
all in a row. Yeah, I think so. Like only like 4 times though. I think otherwise, like they obviously play a lot of songs on this album whenever they do tour, but
that's 3 hours.
Yeah, I think they do it listening. In sittings. I don't think they do it all in once. I think they do it over the course
intermission
of like nights or something. Yeah, I think they do like I think they do a Harry Potter and the Cursed Child where they're like, okay, this is the halfway point. We're gonna come back tomorrow. Remember everything. Don't forget any of the details.
They did that. They did 2 days.
What, Cursed Child?
Yeah. That's
what Cursed Child is on Broadway. It's a 2-part play.
Wow.
You have to go to like 2 different sittings for it. Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
Man.
How long is it overall?
Child.
How long is the whole thing?
It's the continuation of the Harry Potter series.
Yeah.
I think it's like 4.5 hours long.
Yeah.
Total.
Yeah.
Or something, maybe even longer.
Yeah. By notorious turf
what is
J.K. Rowling.
Child? Is it the new Voldemort or something? I don't know.
It's Neville.
I love the series,
Neville, right?
So
I don't know.
But I'm
Team Neville.
With the ending.
All right.
I don't want to reveal how much I know about Harry Potter.
Well, I mean, you shouldn't spoil it either.
You're just over here like, well, actually.
Like, I mean, I don't care. Like, I was happy with how the series ended. Like, that's.
I'll say the main characters.
I don't need to know any. I like to know what they're doing for a living. I don't need to know there's.
Wait, hold on. Your problem is you like knowing what they're doing for a living, and anything beyond that, you're like, okay, Harry's.
I like knowing some base details. I don't need to know their life story anymore. I know how they won. That's cool.
Harry's a cop. Hermione's a lawyer.
Ron
is
a
awesome. Janitor.
Yep.
Yeah,
right. That's awesome. Like I know what they're doing now. They're all cool. They're all in cool positions. They're doing their cool stuff.
Yeah.
Pow.
Well, I
still wish Harry would have been the professor of dark arts, but other than that, everything's pretty kosher.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there was just too much trauma there.
He didn't graduate. He can't fucking teach. He didn't graduate from school.
Right. He didn't need to graduate. He defeated Voldemort.
But you don't need
to graduate.
You don't need to graduate.
He knew how to defeat the dark arts.
You don't need to graduate to be a cop. So
that's true. See,
it's
actually a little bit of social commentary.
Yeah. The notorious turf, J.K. Rowling.
Yes.
But I couldn't see in the Genius notes here. Is this on a movie or something? Do you know if this is on a movie or a famous TV thing?
All My Little Words, I don't know off the top of my head. No.
Okay, because it doesn't say. Usually Genius would say something like this, but it doesn't. But
I don't know for sure.
So again, me and Dave were talking about how like this is something that our boss played around the warehouse, and I completely forgot about that part of my life, and locked it away, put it in a box. So like he was like, oh yeah, Stephen would listen to this all the time at work. And I was like, oh shit, this is that band. And yeah, I really, really enjoyed this stuff. But I never knew the name of the album, the name of the band. I never knew like that until this listen through. So when this song hit, I was like, oh, okay, all right, I'm in. But this is a very much like a kind of, this is something that reminds me of the time it came out, like Sufjan Stevens kind of stuff. That I'm sure Sufjan Stevens listened to this stuff constantly. But
that's what maybe made him start that project that he never finished, and now you get to finish.
Hey, we'll finish it, man. It's okay. Actually, I don't know if you knew this, but there's a comedian that is finishing the Sufjan Stevens albums. I'm doing a side podcast about the finishing off the 50 states with different bands, but a comedian is literally doing every single state, like full albums in Sufjan Stevens style.
They're never gonna do it. Like it's just never gonna. It's not gonna happen. They're gonna get like 4 in, and they're
they have more than half of them already. I'll send you a link. Okay, I've only heard like a handful of the songs, but like I'm going to basically once we run out of like once we run into a state,
some stinkers in there.
Yeah.
I'm sure, but once we run into a state that we don't have an album for, we're gonna be like, all right, we're gonna grab one of that comedian guy's albums, which is a direct play off of the Sufjan Stevens thing.
Speaking of stinkers on a concept album, though.
Yeah.
The next song.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's do it.
It's a little bit of a stinker.
Okay. All right. This album goes all sorts of directions.
It does.
This is like a chicken with its head cut off, actually.
We don't have to be stars exploding in the night or electric eels under the covers. We don't have to be anything quite so unreal. Let's just be lovers.
Yeah. We don't have to be electric eels under the covers. What do you think about this, Marty? You seem like you have a very visceral reaction to this.
Yeah, it's the first of our joke songs, like a very clear, just like this is meant to be a joke, kind of.
Yeah.
And when I say it's a stinker, I don't hate this song. Like no songs on these albums are bad.
Yeah.
On any of the 3 discs, but the weaker songs on these albums, I'll say, at their worst, they're still like fun wordplay and fun as a concept. So it still is like endearing. That's the thing. I think like this song is like, oh, that's good for them. Like they did this song. Like they got to 60 songs written and they were like, okay, what if one of them's just like fucking called a chicken with its head cut off and I just like make up some bullshit around that.
It's like when you're in love and you just don't understand and you just like running around and you just, can't handle it.
Just make up some shit.
Yeah. I think you're right. Cause especially.
You don't know me. I love her.
Well, I won't spoil it. There's one in particular where it's like very clear. It's like, we just need one more.
Oh, I think I agree.
Yeah,
with you.
yeah.
There's one pretty obvious one on the first disc. Like, okay.
It's like, well, I guess they needed 69, so
Weirdly, it's all of the animal songs on the album. It's like where it's just like, oh, okay, it's.
Oh, interesting. I have to look for that. I didn't notice that the first couple listens through. But you think that at the end they were just like, all right, let's look at this fucking animal book or some shit that my kid has.
Let's do some alphabet stuff and let's do some animal stuff. There's a lot of that in this album.
Yeah. Well, I guess they were going to put it in alphabetical order originally, and then they decided to put it in a more logical order. I'm assuming.
Because disc 3 just has like an X, Y, and Z song, like just out of nowhere, like towards the end. It's like, okay, you clearly kind of forced the titles here a little bit, but.
Like wait, 3 different songs, X, Y, and Z, or one song?
They're not like in a row. Yeah, 3 different songs.
Wow.
One starts with an X, one starts with a Y, one starts with a Z. It's like, okay, I get that you were trying to do an alphabetical thing and then you just scrambled this, but it looks weird that you have like some X name in the middle of nowhere here.
Yeah. wow. I'm gonna have to
I
look
mean,
for
when
that
you're
next
looking
year.
for 69 songs too here.
Yeah. That's exactly I think, when you start off, like when you say like, I'm going to do this X big thing, you don't always know what you're getting yourself into,
Yeah.
You got so much momentum at the beginning and
Yeah.
But
hey,
momentum runs
at
out.
least he finished it, unlike Sufjan, Sufjan was just like, fuck it. Fuck the States. No, I don't know. I don't know what Sufjan actually feels. I think he was just having some fun.
I think it means he hates all of the other 48 states. That's what that means. He only likes 2 states.
I do feel like there's a part of me.
For political reasons, I'm going to say no. That's not
There's a part of me
officially feel as a podcast.
But no, there's part of me that really like wants those Wisconsin songs from him. It's like, dude, I want at least like give me a Beloit song, give me a Milwaukee song, Give me a song about the GM factory or something. I don't know.
These are so specifically one area in Wisconsin
that I am from.
I wonder what area you're from.
I just left out Madison, of course, because I never want to draw attention to being in the capital of all places.
Right.
By the way, you're based in Milwaukee. I don't know if we mentioned that,
yes.
but this is a local podcast, people. So spoofs, goofs, and novelty songs.
Yes.
Support it. Listen to
Wisconsin.
it.
We're
Yes,
from Milwaukee.
we are Wisconsin. Yeah.
We are Wisconsin. Hooray.
Well, as you pointed out, there's not a whole lot to talk about on this track. So we are going to move on to the next track. This is Reno, Dakota, which has a much more interesting story.
Reno, Dakota, I'm no Nino Rhoda, I don't know the score. Have I annoyed you, or is there a boy who, well, he's just a whore? I've had him before, it makes me drink more.
Oh, man. There's a really short track, too. Like, there's a very, like...
It's a good track, though.
Yeah, there's not a lot here, but everything is just so...
Very folksy.
On point, yeah. And the lady singing is Claudia Gonson. Gonson, I guess. Yeah. But apparently Reno, Dakota is actually an underground filmmaker that that the lead singer met. What's his name again?
Stephin Merritt.
Stephin Merritt. So Stephin Merritt met, and I think this is about him, like what, passing on Stephin Merritt as an interest at the bar. Is that what this is? Like, I mean, some of the it's a really like fun, like kind of like attention-seeking kind of thing towards this guy Reno, Dakota. But yeah, it's a really interesting.
By the way, what a name! What a fucking name! That's such a good name.
Yeah, like
that's such a good name.
I'm thinking he just based on the name, he's like, I gotta have a song with him in it.
You gotta name a song after that person.
Yeah. Like whether or not this is like something that happened, or if it's like something he's like embellishing on, like I gotta use that name.
Yeah.
It is a great name.
Mm-hmm. And I thought it was about a place before I listened to the track and read the notes.
Reno, Dakota.
In fact, if I didn't read the Genius notes, I don't know if I would have gotten out of that mindset.
It's funny. It's always fun to like read real facts versus what we think sometimes, because sometimes we're right on the head, and sometimes we're just wrong.
By the way, guys, without
wake me up in September.
Without the Genius notes, guys, we're not as smart as we seem. That's why it's called Genius.
But we
don't know all of these things.
Important.
We just have keyboards. But it's a really fun little track here. There's a couple of these kind of folksy tracks where he has a female vocalist come in to hit those those high notes because he understands vocals.
Yeah.
Does he ever sing very high?
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, does he ever sing very high that you know of?
Occasionally, but it's still in like the similar register. So he still is like his high notes are probably I don't really know note names necessarily.
Yeah,
but like his
I'm
high notes are still like
shady
kind of
on
in
it
the
too.
lower range, I would say.
Yeah. He doesn't try to hit like really like things outside of
Yeah, he keeps it in his vocal range.
Yeah.
This song is right up my alley. I love a short song. All my favorite bands write super short songs.
Yeah.
And this has that structure of like there's no arc to it. That's just like a straight line down. Like it starts at one point and it's going to end in a very diagonal fashion, I would say.
Yeah.
It's very fast and plucky.
That's a good
great
point.
Song.
Yeah. In a very like kind of folk style, like the the spirit of folk. It's very simple, very accessible. Very easy story to understand, and kind of a little funny kind of story to share with your friends.
Yeah.
So
what you guys are saying, this is your absolutely cuckoo coming back, right? This is like we're going to see this as like a thing that's going to keep coming back. These like 5 songs that they kind of just do over and over again. This is like obviously
you think there's like a cycle to it, kind of?
I don't know if I don't think so. I give them a little more credit than just doing something so specific like that. But there's definitely like clearly
I don't know. Sometimes
a couple types of songs.
I was about to say I wonder sometimes with like some of the choices, but I'll talk about it more when it gets to 10 and 11. But let's get on to this next track. I don't want to get over you. This one's okay. This is, I think, getting back to what we were saying just a second ago. Cycles. This is like the first 5. This is a more somber one. So I'm gonna just see if it follows some kind of thing. I'm real conspiratorial in a good way.
Smoke cloves, cigarettes, and drink vermouth. Like I was 17, that would be a scream, but I don't wanna get over
you.
Yeah.
It's a lull a little bit, but it's still, even the weaker songs are still good. It's still just an enjoyable listen.
Yeah. This one is this is one of my favorites, I think, of this album.
Okay.
Because it's just like the production, the effect on his vocals is so just perfectly 80s, There's like some tracks where he doesn't sound necessarily like it's an 80s vocal, but then other tracks he's like using the 80s like reverb type production, and
I love I love the lyrics on it too, like even like the title of the song, like that's very 80s, like I don't want to get over you, that's how many rom-coms, like Brat Pack movies did we watch that were literally just I don't want, like that's
this could be in a Zach Braff film, this could be in the background of a Zach Braff film,
putting the stereo above the head,
yeah. And it's just such a great, like, I don't know. He does a great throwbacks when he does like throwbacks to styles.
Right.
That's what this is mostly. It's like here and there. It's like I was gonna say spoofs, but I know that's not correct. What's it called when like you are like intentionally? Oh, you're covering like a genre. I feel like there's certain times where he's maybe covering genres or intentionally leaning towards genres. Because
is there
there's
a word for that specifically?
I don't know. If there is, and you're listening to this, tell me. Because
shout in your car right now.
Shout in your car, and I'll hear it. I promise you. Don't ask why. I'll hear it. They never tell you these podcasts are 2 ways, guys. But yeah, it's like a really like kind of kind of almost teenage sentiment of like like you probably know deep down that you should get over them, but because of all the emotions and all of the all them hormones running through your veins, you just don't want to let go.
No, gotta love those hormones, man.
Yeah.
This is one of the more like so there's a quote he has about the album where he says like not all the love songs aren't necessarily about love. Yeah. And this is one of the ones that's like definitely more about love than it necessarily is about like love songs and that concept, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I think sometimes
like the lust of love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think sometimes he's being autobiographical, but not all the time. There's like, and you can't, it's hard to tell which sometimes, but
I think like if you're writing 69 songs, I think it would be impossible to not be like entirely autobiographical, because I'd be like, where would you pull anything from at some point? Like
That's
one of his
true.
other
That's true.
concept albums is his 50 song memoir, which is about him turning 50. So he wrote a song about each year of his life, supposedly, right? Like in quotation marks.
Yeah.
But like, even doing that, it's like you're gonna just like pull from your life, because like no one has that much artistic output,
unless you're U2. And I only
U2 just makes everything about this.
No. Listen. I only know this. I'm not a U2 fan, but I've listened to all of You Talking U2 to Me.
Soon. The Joshua Tree, maybe?
Sure. But
you can maybe do Rattle and Hum. Rattle and Hum is kind of a concept album.
Yeah. I'm not really sure which ones are. But so apparently until their last 2 albums, they had like a rule about not writing about their personal lives. Which you might say is bullshit or not. I don't know enough about the discography, but that's what Scott and Scott were saying on You Talking U2 to Me.
No, that's pretty cool.
So, yes, that's true for their middle part of their career. Their earlier albums are a little more personal, and then like they're obviously songs
actually,
of
you're right.
Experience are.
You're right, actually.
But like Boy is and October is.
Yeah.
War. I mean, War has Sunday Bloody Sunday, which is like their opinion on the Ireland English conflict, basically. Like.
Okay, all right.
That's a great song.
Good call. Well, there was a portion of their career where they weren't talking like for a good couple of decades.
Yeah, when they made all their terrible albums, that's when they were doing all their. They were actually weirdly they were better at doing the personal stuff than they.
Honestly,
were,
I think
it's
that
hard. Some bands are better at that, and some bands aren't.
I personally think that they went back to a better style because of that podcast. I mean, I think that hearing their stuff like ripped apart and eviscerated in a way that was meant to be like positive, but like
when you hear your stuff get ripped apart, you have one of two reactions. You either accept it and build and move on, or you go beep you and you keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And then the cards are laid where they're laid.
This has been
that's all that is.
This has been You Talking U2 to Me. We managed to get one in on our podcast. I hope that Earwolf will give us the credit we deserve.
I want to go
on
record saying I am a big fan of Songs of Experience and Innocence. I like both of the albums a lot.
I was gonna say I actually via that podcast, that was probably the bit that I enjoyed the most, because it was like, hey, yeah, these guys are actually like getting back to something interesting,
Back to basics.
So, you see, I don't know if I'm a U2 fan though, because I've never listened to a full album. So I've only listened to it through.
You should do
the
War.
Scots.
Try to listen to War all the way through, because War is really good.
When what year is War?
War is like 80. It's before Joshua Tree, so it's like 83 maybe or something.
Okay.
It's like their third album.
It's like they're one of their earlier ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
War's really good. War's got some. That's got Sunday Bloody Sunday, and it's got other.
We could probably. I bet we could string something together there.
I might be wrong about Sunday Bloody Sunday. It might not be on that album, but it's got a good song.
You'd think because of the subject matter it would be, but
right.
Yeah.
It might not be.
Yeah,
you never know.
I don't know.
We'll do some research. We'll find out. Hey, tune in.
That's your job.
Maybe we'll do a U2 album, kids. If you want us to do send the letters in.
We have
send
to at some point.
emails.
But I'm trying to save that until I can get the Scott and Scott on. Actually, that's the goal.
Keep saving is what I would say to that. One of those two people would be extremely difficult to get on a podcast.
Well, I'd go with I'd maybe deal with a cutout or something and just kind of Photoshop my mouth in. But I think I could maybe get Ackerman in if I trick him into it somehow. But let's get on to the next track though. There's so many of these tracks, guys.
Yep.
And
there are so many tracks.
Yeah, we got to get back
so little time
to Come Back from San Francisco.
Should pretty boys and discos distract you from your novel. Remember, I'm awful in love with you.
Another great female vocalist. This is Shirley Sims on that song. But yeah, it's another. I think this is a good part to mention. I mean, there's like he's gay, and this song I think is getting into that part of his identity. As far as San Francisco obviously like is the gay mecca kind of place. And well, that's what the Genius Notes were telling me.
Okay.
This is not my own theory,
no
but
idea what you're.
but
I mean, sure, but
they're I'll even shout him out here. Whose idea this is? Let's see. Oh, actually, there were a few tracks on Genius that were noted on by Stephin Merritt. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they were verified by author. I don't know if I've run into any of those yet so far, but I did notice a few. I'm like, wow, I've never seen that before. But yeah, they were suggesting that this is maybe about him missing his lover has moved to San Francisco, especially with like the line what is it? Shit. Oh yeah. Should pretty boys and discos distract you from your novel? Remember, I'm awful in love with you. So he he's missing the times. Like I'm assuming the discos were more a New York thing. I mean, I don't know if that's a San Francisco thing as much, but
I like how this is really dipping into the lore of more folk music. Too like San Francisco's always been a point. For that kind of music and stuff like that, with the old flag point, if you're going to San Francisco.
So. But another nice like somber, kind of longing tune. He's really good at that melancholy stuff. Like I feel like that's where he's in his like sweet spot, because most of these just seem just very varying degrees of melancholy to me. Like he he just he has this understanding of love that's like a weight, you know what I mean? Like it seems like it's a very big idea for him that he's grappling with all the time in these songs. But yeah, very intimate album. He really, really like some of the songs. He really lays bare. I like the line though here before we move on. You need me like the wind needs trees to blow in, like the moon needs poetry. It's just a nice line.
That's the whole album basically. It's a lot of nice lines. I'm not the biggest fan of this song particularly, but again, there's a lot of good like.
He's good with words.
He's and like he's known for that. That's like the thing that people respect the most of Magnetic Fields is he's a very wordplay lyricist.
Yeah, like I'm a big fan of Bright Eyes, and like I've always said to people that don't like him, it's like, well, the lyrics are kind of poetic though. Like the way he uses his words are very like very interesting. But yeah, I think that he's.
I mean, you got to remember, it was a guy raised on. I mean, this was like '99, right? So like this was a guy that was raised on some of the greatest poets of our generation. He was raised on like the all the hippies, all of the folk artists.
the beatniks.
I mean, the '70s. When you really listen to like the eclectic between like the '50s and the '70s, it's really just it's very, very inspirational.
But you guys want to move on to track 8? We got another track for you guys. Moving it right along. This is The Luckiest Guy on the Lower East Side, and this one's fun. This one is just.
Only when the sun comes out, I'm the luckiest guy on the Lower East Side. 'Cause I've got wheels, you wanna go for a ride.
Road has a Christmas vibe.
Yeah.
It's a little Christmassy with the bells.
Yeah.
This is one of the few songs on the 3 albums sung by Dudley Clute, who sings a lot of the best songs on the 3 albums.
Oh, this isn't him then. Okay. That makes okay.
It's not Stephin Merritt. No, this is Dudley Clute. This is one of those times where it's like
him.
You could have sang this, but Clute has a really specific, interesting voice that just sounds. The way he's always recorded in these songs is he sounds really close to the mic, which is always really like disconcerting, but it makes for a really nice effect sometimes to have it feel more intimate.
Yeah. It's it reminds me of those internet flash videos where like they would repeat over and over again like I got a big bag of crabs here. Oh, you did one of those?
We did Badger
yes.
on the most recent episode of our
That's kind of what this reminds me of, weirdly. Like that's the closest
that's a fair comparison,
I could think of. You know, it's just like there's like weird noises,
weird, squishy, synthy noises. Like
it's very silly. It's not taking itself seriously. It's just. Yeah.
This is the good version of this band having fun on this album, is when it's just like wacky, weird. What can we make sound weird together, right? That's what this album does best.
Yeah.
Well, and
go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, like, and that's isn't that like one of the best parts about love in general is that sometimes it's weird, sometimes it's wacky.
Yeah.
You know, like
point,
if this really is like a 3-parter album about like 69 love songs, like, hey,
that's true.
Let's get into all aspects of love,
That's true. There is a joke in the title of the album, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, oh yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
You got to catch on to that one.
Yeah. It's nice, but it is. Definitely the weirdest song thus far on this album. It's very he's driving around his car around the city, his cool car, because he wants to pick people up because he's he wants people to love his car and stuff.
Yeah,
I almost think that's what the weird noises are. Is like they're supposed to be like his car like making like little farts while it goes down the road.
Yeah, I think that's a good like interpretation. Yeah, no, it's definitely it's like an old cartoon song. Yeah.
And then he changes at the end, the last lyric. He changes it from the luckiest guy to Lower East Side to I'm the ugliest guy on the Lower East Side.
Yeah,
it's a nice fun twist.
But that's great because that means he's feeling like he's feeling better than what he normally feels.
He's feeling good.
And isn't that like what love is supposed to do?
Yeah,
like it's not all that obviously, but one of the better songs is supposed to lift you up.
Well, and someone was saying in the Genius Notes, this is kind of like a Beauty and the Beast type situation where like. The main character is like, not the most handsome person, and he's like trying to make it in the world of dating and meeting people and stuff. But he's got a great attitude about it, obviously. He loves his car. And I'm imagining it's like a jalopy from like the 20s and 30s or something. Oh wait. I think Dave's coming back. Oh my goodness.
Oh no. Whoa.
It's Dave. It's Dave.
Tango and Cash. Dave is back.
Welcome back, Virtual Dave.
Hello.
Yeah, you missed your intro, but this is right. Virtual Dave, everybody.
I'm here now.
He's back. And we were just getting through track 8. What was it? The luckiest guy on the Lower East Side. The fun, jaunty number. Yeah. But Dave,
really helps you skip along.
Yeah, but Dave, I was gonna say, what was your kind of, since we didn't get a chance to talk to you earlier, what was your kind of first impression on the album?
So, my history with Magnetic Fields, it's back and forth. Like I enjoyed it, and then I think I disliked it. It was mostly because of old boss. We played a lot, and there's some tracks like, I'm just not getting, like, I'm not enjoying it. And there's some like, oh, I like this track. And for me, it was like hit or miss for a lot of their stuff.
Yeah. I can imagine, like, if you listen to like this album start to finish and you weren't expecting it, it might be.
Yeah. So this was actually a lot different than from the other stuff I've heard, and I pretty much was really digging pretty much track to track on this one.
Yeah.
So far, I was enjoying it.
Yeah. And that's a shout out to Stephin, by the way. He's our lover of the magnetic fields, and he introduced that to us. So, but yeah, it's thanks to Stephin, I got that weird nostalgia for a couple of these songs. But we've been through a lot of different weird stuff, from the All My Little Words to the chicken with his head cut off, and then Reno, Dakota, the coolest name ever, I think. And you want to get to track 9 though with us, Dave?
Oh, I do.
All right, track 9 with Virtual Dave, but Virtual John is well. I don't need to tell. Never mind. I don't need to tell you that. There's an audio medium.
No one needs to know.
No one needs to know. Let's pretend we're bunny rabbits. Am I right?
Let's do it.
Keep it up all night, I think, is what he's about to say.
What a track to come into.
Yeah.
One of the worst ones on the album, like, for sure. It's so lazy. It's such a lazy song.
Yeah, I think I know what you're saying now about the animals.
Yes, the animals are a big cop out a little bit. That's kind of the signal of like, all right, this might not be a good song. If there's an animal title.
Well, there's 69 songs. There's going to be a few weaker links to this.
Oh,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
I was saying earlier, like,
rabbits. I can do a rabbit song.
Right.
Yeah.
Just start jotting stuff down.
I love that
like
there's
rabbits.
bad songs in this album. I actually think if it was 69 just like decent songs, that would suck. Like, it would be so uninteresting.
Well, and it would
but the fact that there's like such swings that miss horribly, like, that makes it so much more fun to listen to.
Well, plus, like, you don't want to get all of like the personal, intimate stuff out in the 69 songs. Like, you want to save some of that personal, like, angst for future albums. you know?
And I got
you gotta mine it.
Bunny rabbits ain't one of them.
Yeah, let's do it like bunny rabbits. That's a phrase, Yeah. This one makes a little more sense though than the like chicken with its head cut off though. Like, this is like, at least, like, bunnies are known for like getting on like rabbits, and bunnies like just they're the sex sex creatures.
We'll have a couple
multiply like rabbits.
Suits.
Yeah,
they be screwing like the rabbits.
I do like that they say we'll put on bunny suits. I long
After
to
a couple
nibble
beers.
your ears.
No, that's real kinky.
Yeah.
There's a lot of kink in this album.
This album's steamy. I mean, it's called 69 Love Songs, so I expect nothing less.
Right.
And I mean, obviously, Bunny always has a personal spot in all of our hearts. Because you always got to think about Playboy bunnies.
Well, yeah. There are the Playboy bunnies for those older gentlemen.
Are the Playboy bunnies.
There's Watership Down bunnies.
There's the Watership Down bunnies, which are really quite the opposite, almost. I don't know about opposite, but there was an interesting story about this this track though that you might enjoy, Marty. The T-shirt idea, apparently, according to these notes, came before the song was like completely formed. Much in the comedy Bang Bang Earwolf style, they thought of the T-shirt and then kind of made it a thing.
Made a bit around it.
Yeah. Hey Nog Man. You know, they Hey Nog Manned it.
Hang On Man was its own. Hang On Man worked on its own.
Well, that's true. That's true. That was like the first.
All joking, a salad is the one where it's like, okay, you just.
Well, I don't know. I feel like that one was still. I feel like it was maybe after. For me, after All Joking is Salad, it was when it started to taper off.
Right. You're just trying to make money now at this point.
Yeah, they're like, is that a T-shirt? Will people buy that?
Turns out they will. I mean, they were doing that as a bit, but also like it was like They printed money for that company for a long
I
time.
bought Hollywood Handbook's T-shirt that just says "deeply alienating" and nothing else. So it doesn't even say the podcast.
Right.
There's nothing to explain. Yeah, podcast T-shirts make no sense, people. I want you to buy them when I inevitably create merch, but they don't ever try to explain.
For the record,
it.
we're making this statement early.
Yeah, I just want to be on record, letting you know. At some point,
there's no playbook for the game. You got to figure it out yourself.
Man.
Anyways, so moving on.
Well, yeah, we're on track 10, John. We're just getting to this really short, quick one called "The Cactus Where Your Heart Should Be."
The cactus where your heart should be has lovely little flowers. So though it's always pricking me.
Oh man, I chose a great cut on that, didn't I?
Stuff that would hurt.
But yeah, this is probably the first time I was like, all right, this is like filler. This is like this was
but
like
this is gooey romantic filler. Aren't you listening to these lyrics here?
Well, apparently
like this, it gets it to the 69.
That's true. Yeah.
This is a guy. This is part of the romantic phase of being in love. You know.
Yeah.
This is where it's like, okay, we gotta get a harpsichord album. We're gonna do a harpsichord, and that's all.
That's the instrument we're using. It.
Yes. We've rented this thing. We need to use it at some point in the recording process.
Oh, we never wrote one with it in it. All right, I'm just gonna
We hired a harpsichord player.
What have we not touched on? We've done animals. We've done letters. We've done cities.
Like just throw the dart and cactus. Great.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
we'll
it's
do
like
a plant. That's great.
It's a picture with a cactus, a bunny rabbit, and then like a chicken inexplicably with its head cut off. They're just throwing darts at it.
It's an old portrait of the Wild West.
Yes. The variations of the West.
It's a map. It has Reno, North Dakota, Washington D.C. Grand Canyon.
Turns out the person he mentioned is actually based on the location and the song. Yes. So we have it in reverse.
Without this podcast, I would never have known that.
I know. This is where the information is, guys. If you need the exclusives. Put it on Wikipedia or something. I don't know.
That's sweet content.
That's sweet content. But yeah, this is he apparently wrote this at an art gallery in like a very short amount of time and performed it the night that he wrote it. So apparently it took him like 20 seconds after he came up with the cactus line, and he was just like, boom, that's it. That's a song. Done. Move on. It's just pretty good for that. For having been made,
it's still good. It's like I can still listen to this.
I couldn't make a song this good in a 24-hour period. Like, no, not at all.
25 hours though.
Yeah. You give me 25 hours, 8 days a week.
You give me 25 hours, I'll bring 69 songs.
I'll give you your 69 songs. Yeah, I wonder how long this took to make anyway. I wonder if it says here in the wiki. I'll find out for later here, but I don't, I'm going to just I don't think that it took that long. I think that they probably, because it says recorded in April, released 99, and
well, let me look because I can just here. I'm in the same Wikipedia. I'm just checking their release schedule here. So Magnetic Fields went like 4 years between album releases, so I'm guessing it was all that time he was working. And before that, they were like a year apart basically for all their albums. So
so like later in his career, he decided to take more time in between.
Yeah, and do longer albums because like all of their albums since then have been much longer. But
okay. So he's like, all right, I'm not gonna do it every year anymore, but when I do it, I'm gonna really do it.
It's gonna be big.
It's gonna be there's gonna be a lot. You're gonna be like, you maybe shouldn't have done that much, but it'll be there. But yeah, you want to move on to track 11? Because I mean, after the cactus where their heart should be, he needs a new heart.
I think we discussed the cactus.
What?
It does. It is quite prickly.
Yeah, I think we pretty much got through the cactus.
You're right, Brad. We need a new heart.
I think I need a new heart.
I'll never say happy anniversary. Never stay to say happy anniversary. So I think I need a new heart.
Oh man, loving that chorus. Very Paul Simon, that like chorus part. Yeah, but yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Isn't it really cool when you hear like artists like try to do other artists, but they don't sound like it, like the other artists, but they do the same style and still kind of works.
Yeah. Like there's clearly like higher fidelity production than like I'll call me Al, but it's got the similar kind of like instrumental stuff going on. It kind of just like makes you want to like bob your head, and you just can't. You don't know why.
Less brass and less Chevy Chase, but yeah.
That was always so strange to me when I was growing up. Why is Chevy Chase involved in this?
Why not?
I mean, that's a good point. Why not? Apparently, he fucking loved Paul Simon, I guess. I don't know. Most I know about Chevy Chase is Community. That's really my biggest experience. I know.
Man,
he's done other stuff. Yeah.
Has he? Oh, okay.
He's done. I feel like he did other stuff.
Did he have like a career before that? I thought he was just some angry old man that they found on set. He was on some
show that was on Saturday nights, and then he was like in some movies that nobody thinks about at all.
Okay. Interesting. I'll have to
some
look into his
movie.
I'll have to
movie.
I'll have to IMDb him or something. But he's really good in Community.
He's really well
You'd be
liked.
so pissed if you heard this conversation.
Yeah.
You'd just become
I gotta respond to this.
I loved hearing the stories about him on set. They were always funny. Funny in a dark way, of course. But
I also heard that he needs a new heart as well.
Yeah, I get that. I get that feeling. Sometimes.
The middle of the album is a lot of the same songs over and over again. So there's
well,
not
this
much
one,
to say about these songs.
This one paints though his like kind of it does. I think it's mostly silly, but the part where he says, "I'll never say happy anniversary, never stay to say happy anniversary," is a very dark
really
line.
Great. Yeah, it's really great.
Yeah. Like it's just like he's just like basically saying like I have a fear of commitment and I'm going to run away at some point. I'm broken.
My foot is very comfortable out the door.
Yeah. Which is like I like that he has like a song that's like it sounds so like upbeat and like lovey-dovey, but then it's like about being unable to like love like he thinks he should, Yeah. Great dynamic with that. But we have one more track before we get on to our break. And that is
hit of the album.
It's the one, guys. If you've heard any of the songs on this album, this is the one that you have heard. So this is The Book of Love.
Love has music in it. In fact, that's where music comes from. Some of it is just transcendental. Some of it is just really dumb.
I think that line kind of encompasses his attitude towards the album a little bit, It's right there, he's calling it out.
The part right after you just cut off too is like when all the harmonies start again, which is the best part of the song. Is all the harmonies in this song.
Yeah, I know, but we only get 15 seconds.
I know.
But anyway, The Book of Love, guys. It's been in movies. It's been in TV shows.
A lot of
you might have
of this.
heard it at a wedding, potentially. Yeah.
A really hipster wedding. A really hipster wedding would have played
Yeah.
It's a good song, though.
Well,
this. It is a good song.
A hipster wedding, or they have like a hipster like brother or sister that's like, yo, this is a good song, man, for a wedding. It's like it's kind of like up there with what's that Bright Eyes song? First Day of My Life. Yeah, that's kind of become a wedding song.
But that's like a little more well known though. Like that's like that's like acceptable because it's like, and also Bright Eyes is just like so much more famous than Magnetic Fields like as acts.
Yeah. This is definitely like, you're right. This is definitely going to be more, very much more hipster weddings.
Yeah.
And yeah. Because people know about that Bright Eyes song without knowing anything about Conor Oberst.
Right.
But yeah, I think this is it's a very honest song because of the fact that it's kind of calling out the kind of whimsical nature of what he's doing. Like I said, some of it's transcendental, some of it's just really dumb, And I mean, it is, that in itself is kind of a deep line, even though he's making fun of being deep. It's, it's kind of a paradox of lyrical content. But yeah. I think that he really is like, I know he's talking cliches, but I think this is another one where he's really like feeling it when he's recording it. But what do you guys think of this track? It's the more well known. It's like, like we said, it's been in all sorts of things that I don't have any specific instances of right now. But yeah, what do you guys think of this one? Before we get out of into our break.
Yeah, it's sweeter in tone.
It's a very good song.
Yeah.
It's
a good song.
Very well structured.
It is a good song.
It's very simple, which is nice, especially after so much instrumentation and production stuff on previous songs and on songs that are coming up. It's nice to have something that's like so straightforward and kind of just like acoustic guitar and him singing.
For
the most part.
Yeah. Where some of these are like, there's a lot,
there's
going on.
Squishy noises. Yeah.
I'm just looking ahead to see which the next one. Okay, never mind. I thought the punk one was coming up next for some reason.
That's coming up soon.
I was like, that'd be weird after this one, right?
Yeah, that'd be too big a jump, I think.
Yeah. But that's our teaser for the second half of the podcast. There's a punk rock song coming. And thank you guys for listening. We'll be back in just a second. The Album Concept Hour. Welcome back to the Album Concept Hour. I am your host, Brad LeBaron, and we have our co-hosts, Virtual John and Virtual Dave. And the OGs. And we have our guest, of course, Martin Kaszubowski.
Ooh, you got it again.
Yeah.
Close enough, at least.
Boom shakalaka.
Okay, all right, cool. And he is from the podcast Spoofs, Goofs, and Novelty Songs, which you can find where you find
everywhere
podcasts.
You get your podcasts.
Yes,
Spotify,
all over the place.
iTunes, iHeartRadio, YouTube.
You got the Spotify. You got the iHeartRadio. You got everything.
Stitcher. Everything.
Are you on Stitcher? Oh,
We're
man.
on Stitcher.
You want Stitcher Plus? No, probably not. Wait, no, it's Stitcher Premium.
Premium. Yeah.
I think they're rebranding to Plus. I don't know.
Is that a thing?
I believe so. I mean,
or is that a bit you heard on a podcast? Because I feel like.
Here's the thing. All Hollywood Handbook bits about Earwolf are generally based in some truth, however little bit of truth it is.
Right.
So I'm assuming there's some bit of information they heard that they are then making fun of. But this we're gonna get into the second half of this album, the Magnetic Field 69 Love Songs, and the first track we have for you coming back is Fido, Your Leash is Too Long.
I must have all of your love. You just run out of luck. I don't care what you fuck sounds do, but your leash is too long.
I really thought we could drop into like a Kraftwerk album for a second.
Yeah, man, that was a real like kind of dance party number.
It
You know?
was.
Yeah.
Like
Makes you
sprockets.
want to move.
No, this song is literally talking about like the dog's leash is too long. He'd be screwing too many chicks. Ow!
I don't think he's talking about a dog. Would be my first thought.
Well, no, of course it's not a dog. It's a dog. It's not
A dog.
It's a dog. It's a dog, bro.
Okay.
DAWG.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
But that's how they label it. It's just like who let the dogs out. It's not about who let dogs out.
Which shocks me.
What kind
Which
of dogs?
completely
Oh,
still.
me too. Me and my dad literally, as my dad, you've met my dad. We literally sang that song. Who. We did not know that that's what that meant.
Yeah. Apparently, if you're confused, Marty, it's apparently supposedly Who Let the Dogs Out is about letting the ugly girls in the club. Which
Fun fact.
Yeah.
That song was covered on a podcast called Spoofs, Goofs, and Novelty Songs. We did not talk about that aspect. So, fun fact.
Nice. All right. Do you know?
That's
I don't know.
fantastic.
Do you know which episode it is? What was that
recent.
paired with?
Very recent. Oh, great question. I don't
Right.
remember.
But yeah.
Here, you know what? Give me 2 seconds.
Oh, it's okay. But yeah, this is a really weird one for right after the Book of Love. You know,
Gremlins 2.
Gremlins 2. Okay. That sure.
Good
Yeah,
movie.
that fits.
Oh, I did not like it. Oh, I did not like Gremlins 2. Oh, don't make that face at me.
Yeah, so good they made an NES game out of it.
Yeah, that's how that. Yeah, dude. I mean, that they only do that for good movies.
Yeah, so you know you made it.
Yeah.
E.T., that's not a good movie.
It was Atari. That was not
Great
NES.
game. Great game, though.
Yeah.
Two different systems.
Close enough. Fido, your leash is too
Yes, leash. Too long.
I love that.
I love her.
That's
Your lover's straying a lot. You know.
I love the name Fido. That's a great you can't label anybody under that. You know, that's a dog name.
Which apparently
Fido.
has been
Fido.
which apparently has been a dog name since the Roman times, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom. So that's so old to our culture. That's wow.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, check me on this if I'm wrong, guys. I will check you past Brad. It's an urban myth, dum-dum. However, Fido is Latin for faithful and was popularized as a dog name with Abraham Lincoln's dog named Fido. But
Way to survive.
we're
Way to
just
survive
we're
through
just
culture, Fido.
trusting blindly the genius notes here. So anytime we're wrong, it's their fault.
Please, by the way,
Really.
that's how we know you. That's how we know you're listening. Check us every
Check
time.
us before we wreck
Ourselves.
ourselves. Shit, I think we already did it in that. Oh shit.
Man, are we wrecked?
We're wrecked.
We're not. We wreck ourselves, but then we check
We even
ourselves,
check ourselves.
and we
We're doing this.
resurrect ourselves. Oh,
All right. That's a wrap. I do like this what one like kind of trope he's doing though is he's like having fun with swear words in this song. He's like getting bitches in trouble in the first verse. When you do that shih tzu, you know, in the second verse, and then in the third verse, you've run out of luck. I don't care what your foxhounds do. Mm-hmm. So he like pronounces foxhounds like fuckshounds, kind of, to make it like fit, which is like it's a choice,
He's saucy.
you know. Oh, Dave's actually rejoining the room. Here we go.
hell yeah!
We got double Dave.
Virtual Dave is back.
We got double Daves. Oh, the first Dave is faded out. Okay, I thought we were gonna have
this Dave now.
Okay, I thought we were gonna have
Get a
Dave
different Dave.
and Shadow Dave for a second.
Welcome to the Rick and Morty verse.
Yeah,
Come back with like a mustache.
you,
Bizarro Dave.
you should keep a mustache right next to your computer, just so like in the case that you just Dave. I'm Dave. Yeah. No. But yeah, you guys want to get on to this next track though? It's How Fucking Romantic. Wait, that was about a dog though in the last track. Kind of. So do you think that's one of the later additions?
I still say it's about a dog.
I think it's probably a later addition. I think that your theory holds water.
This is the animal. This is the make it about a fucking animal thing.
Yeah. We got 9 left. Make it about an animal. Yeah.
Boy.
But this song is called How Fucking Romantic.
Drag another cliche, howling from the vaults. Love you obviously, like you really care. Even though you treat me like a dancing bear.
Bear.
All right.
Dancing bear.
Twice now. This song started. I was looking at the screen. It literally sounded like someone else, not the song, but one of you were to start singing something random.
I know, like just in the middle of the podcast.
Someone in a closet singing a song.
It's definitely like the spoken word take on the album. Yeah.
I should do that one of these days, just in the middle of the podcast, just go into
singing.
a spoken word bit and just
Like what?
you guys would not know what happened to Brad. But yeah, it's this is the one I was talking about earlier though. Like this is the one where it's like, okay, he just needs another song. You know? Or do you feel
this
different?
Is the thing though, I like this though because it's so short. Like, yes, it is like a little filler, and it's obviously like it's less than a minute long. Yeah, it's clearly just a transition thing.
Yeah.
But it's such a take also that it's like I think it's clearly pretty intentional. Like this is the stuff on the albums on the 3 volumes that feels like there's the first song on volume 2, which feels like so specific to a genre that it had to have been really thought out to be included, in my opinion. But
okay. Well, we'll have to check that out next year, I guess.
We'll never know. No, we'll never know.
I don't know.
Because the world's ending, guys. I hate to break it to you. There's not going to be a next year.
Shit.
You have the better mind calendar.
Do you think the zombie apocalypse is coming?
Well, I mean, this is the perfect setup for a zombie apocalypse, honestly. So could go Walking Dead. I don't know.
If the world doesn't take this cue,
I feel okay.
Totally had it.
Yeah.
Will podcasts continue in the zombie apocalypse? That's the real question.
Podcasts will be the only thing that continues. It'll be the only.
I'll tell you right now. I've always questioned whenever you watch those, like, why is there electricity? Why is there still gasoline? Why is little things? You know, just little things. Why?
Yeah, we're really gonna miss it in the end, I think. Yeah.
No, we will.
Yeah, in the after times. We're in the middle times right now. We're like there was the before times.
Oh, absolutely. We don't even know what's
we'll get to
going
the after
on.
times. Yeah.
We're most of us are in like the middle of it. Like we're in the middle of the country. We don't know what's going on. Life's just going on for us.
We're all just winging it. This fucking pandemic, you know.
Hey man, it's been working for me for the most part.
I think we're okay. We've been inside so long. I don't know. You know.
What's outside like now?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess it snowed today or something.
I'm taking life one day at a time, fellas.
Yeah.
That's just the only way I can do it.
Yeah.
It's the only way I can do it anymore. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing anymore. Yeah.
But I do like though. It's called. Sorry, the song is called "How Fucking Romantic," where he's like, it almost seems like
great song.
She's like, yeah, how fucking romantic. This is another one. Here you go. You know, I feel like he named this one very much after the fact, in my opinion. I think that at first he wrote the song, it was like, oh, this is a cool kind of thing, and then like he put the title. But yeah, this next track is "The One You Really Love." It's track 15.
I gaze into your eyes of blue, but their beauty is not.
Yeah. I like this
Is
one.
it the one you really love, Brad?
I enjoyed this one. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, nice little campfire kind of dealy.
Little ditty.
Yeah.
Closely recorded.
It's a very smooth
closely
song,
recorded.
Closely recorded? You mean like close
the mic
to the
is
mic?
right next to that damn whatever that is that he's playing.
I think it's a banjo in this one.
Yeah. I would
say
guess.
banjo.
Hey,
Oh, auto harp.
There's a lot of auto harp in this.
Yeah. But
hey,
yeah,
man,
barely
we
LD.
have to appreciate those techniques though, because like they're dying off. Everybody's just using like electronic music.
Well, I mean, like that's just in the popular music industry.
Electric harp.
There's plenty of people I think that are picking up old instruments now, like your jazz students and whatnot. But probably not on your pop charts as much.
Springback, man. Gotta believe in the springback.
But yeah, this is with LD Begtel is singing as well in this one. But yeah, this one's kind of feels like a lullaby to me. It feels like a nice I don't know, something my mom would sing to me before I went to bed or some shit. I don't know if that's just my mom, but I did later find out that some of the lullabies my mom sang me were Beatles tunes, and I just realized way later.
That song you used to sing me, "Hey Brad," sounded really similar to something else. I couldn't fucking place it though.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it's just in my soul.
"Come to Bed Now." That sounded like something else, but man, I just couldn't place it.
Yeah, this.
How many more of these? I got more.
You got more. Oh, did you write some down? Did you write some down?
Yeah, I'm kidding.
But no, there's I really like though the way this song it builds up. It's another one of these like switcheroos that he does. But it's talking about dreaming of the one you love and thinking of someone who's gone, and then at the end he's like, you're dreaming of the corpse you really love. He just drops that on you. It's like I don't know.
He loves a third act.
It's quite a bomb.
He does, yeah, because like he did this,
Park.
and in that one, I'm such a lucky guy to I'm such an ugly guy.
Yeah.
It's
the prestige. It's the you got the setup, the prestige to get to the end there.
The hero's journey, right?
Sure. We're talking like actually what he's doing. Sure.
I don't know if the switcheroo is part of the hero's journey. I'm not sure what step that is in the Joseph Campbell.
Hey man, you gotta remember, everything is meant to adapt. The hero's journey these days could just be about the switcheroo.
You kill your father and then you do the switcheroo. That's hero's journey. But you guys want to move on? This next track we have hyped a bit. This is the Punk Love. But to demonstrate how jarring the song is, I've actually chosen to connect this with the following track. So this will be Punk Love into Parades Go By.
Man, it's like regular punk love and then space punk love.
Goodbye 70s, hello 80s.
Yeah, and that's not edited, by the way. That's not like didn't skip the end of the track to a next track. I know we didn't get to any of the lyrics for the Parades one, but like I just wanted you to understand, like there is a lot of different like sounds going on in this album, sometimes right next to each other in jarring ways, like clearly like making them jarring in that way, But yeah, the punk song starts just in the middle of like a word or something. Like
it starts in the middle of a letter. It's like the second half of letter P it starts on.
Yeah,
it's so jarring.
It is. As
so
if you're,
great, though. It's such a
if you're like an audio person,
like you splash through a wall, you know.
Well, I know. I immediately was like, "Wait, did something mess up?"
Right? You think it's like a somehow you missed something, or somehow it started like too late or something.
Or your CD skipping or something, like
you literally feel like 1 minute you're like a punk jarring teenager, and then all of a sudden you splash through to adulthood, and you're
they're like
depression.
It is kind of like waking up from a dream, isn't it? It's kind of it's like you're waking up from that weird punk rock dream or alarm clock maybe.
Yep.
Parade's Goodbye is very sleepy. The use of I don't know what the instrument is necessarily, but underneath the chorus there's like a flute of some kind or some kind of piano thing that they're using to make that background noise. That's really beautiful. This is my favorite song on Volume 1. Parades Go By is really, really great. It's a very, very pretty song.
Yeah, I do recommend you listen to the song. It's a good song.
It's a very good song.
But and is this so I some of the Genius Notes were saying this is kind of like a longing for being in a relationship or being married, and then like seeing like all the other possibilities going by, perhaps.
Yeah.
What do you think about this song and its meaning? You think that's
yes.
accurate?
I think that's it's one of those things where it's sometimes art is not, it's very clear, and that's when sometimes art is most successful, is when it's
I love it when art is clear.
Yeah. So sometimes we have like albums where it's like Frank Sinatra, especially, like that was like all those songs.
There's no metaphor there, right?
Yeah,
it's like very
straightforward.
straightforward.
It's right there.
Yeah,
that's what we're talking about.
Yeah,
that's what we're thinking.
He's not beating around the bush. Yeah, well, I mean, except for when it comes to like, I guess, sex stuff, because I mean, they couldn't talk about sex.
Well,
stuff.
they had,
but everyone knew. Everyone knew.
Well, then
you got to
give Brad. We're a modern audience. We know what they were talking about.
Well, no, I mean, I think everyone at the time. Well, do you think everyone at the time?
Of course they did. They were.
I feel like there was probably like certain people that were like, "Oh no, it's just a friendly, song about checkers or something." Checkers is my is my pull for the early 1900s. But you guys want to get on to the next track? We got hold on, Boa Constrictor. So here is Boa Constrictor.
My mother should have murdered me. What jury would convict her, babe? For love is wrapped around my heart like a boa constrictor.
Another animal?
Boa Constrictor.
Another animal and a short song.
I also said that so that you can have that on mic from me, so you know where my mic's picking up.
Oh, good.
Boa Constrictor.
Boa Constrictor.
Very constrictive love. Very.
Yeah, no, this is not
very possessive love.
Not a great example of what it is.
Not a great relationship.
Yeah. This guy's he does have a kind of it does seem like he has a weird relationship with love sometimes. Like he's well, like that one song, his heart needs to be replaced or something.
Yeah.
His heart's fucked up. I don't know.
His soul's gone. Wow, whirling tornado sounds.
Yeah. But he's he's got a dark heart,
Yeah, Stephin Merritt wrote all of these songs, I believe. He's the only credited writer, I think, for all of these.
Right?
Yeah.
So
like
far,
10 performers rotating in and out for each of the songs, basically.
Yeah. There's a big cast in this.
Right.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how they did all their albums beforehand. Although I think earlier he was mostly writing, recording, and then he'd only bring on musicians for performances.
Oh,
this album specifically, I think, was like a turning point of like, they started to become more of an actual band around this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the other people
So
that
even though
are
this is like such a personal album, it's
Yeah.
still like the first time where he's actually like involving other people so much more too. It's really weird. But
so these are the people that kind of became his band after this, like some of the
they
people
were
that are
already
guesting?
in the band,
Okay.
but, and I think they had been recording with him, but like he was so I'm trying to think of a good comparison as far as like musician, but
Yeah,
he was writing and performing most of it himself, I think, for a while.
Like Sufjan Stevens,
Cloud Nothings or somebody else.
Panopticon was one we did in the other podcast.
There you
go. Metal band. But yeah. There's certain groups where there is like the one person that like if they could clone themselves, they would just
do
that's just what the band would be.
Yeah.
But the nature of playing music is
you gotta collaborate.
You gotta collaborate. Yeah. I mean, unless you're just doing vocals or whatever, you're not caring about the other stuff,
Right.
Spoken word album.
Yeah. You could do a spoken word album,
They give you a Grammy for that. That's a Grammy category, I'm pretty sure.
They do that.
Oh,
That
wow.
is very true.
Man, that's probably like one of the easier categories to get, you think? Maybe I'm throwing shade on it.
Of course it is,
but like,
Brad. The
I would
point is-
think that's accessible to a different level of people.
Well, see, the thing is you get all these different things branching out, and then they're like, well, we're part of the success as well. So, that's when you have to award the system. It's a tried and true thing,
But you guys want to move on to Pretty Girl is Like?
I would love to.
It's I know that doesn't sound like a complete statement, but it is.
I'm hoping we'll finish when we get to the song.
Yeah.
The dancing and a pretty girl is like a violent crime. If you do it wrong, you could do time. But if you do it right, it is sublime.
Words to live by.
Yeah. If you do it right, it's pretty sublime, like the band. Santeria.
That's when you get those good endorphins going on,
Yeah. But this one is actually a really interesting. Got a really interesting story behind it. He was a big fan of the Great American Songbook, and this song is actually it's kind of a spoof. It's kind of your neck of the woods, Marty. It's a spoof of a song. Well, it's a spoof of the idea of a song that is Irving Berlin's "A Pretty Girl is Like a Melody" from that songbook, which is a your kind of like typical like swooning girl like story from the man's perspective, and this is actually his kind of like spoof on that song. So I gotta ask, as a spoof, where would you rate this, do you think, Marty?
Okay. As a spoof.
I'm not sure if you're allowed to do that outside your podcast. I mean, am I like crossing any barriers here?
Only that I do a lot of prep work. Okay, so my spoof rating is like dialed in at this point. It's got like I've got like notebooks on how to like properly rate a spoof at this point.
Oh, I bet.
So yeah, as a spoof, it's like this feels more homage than spoof, is what I would say. It's like he thinks he's doing some kind of parody here. I think you're kind of just doing it.
Yeah.
But did I laugh? That's part of the thing with a good parody is like you gotta laugh at it too. I didn't laugh at this song. This song doesn't make me chuckle. Doesn't even make me smirk.
This is just showing you the other side of the coin to the story. Like, how about this one? But now
it's kind of his like own personal joke. It's like it's very obscure. I had to. You have to do research to know even that this is a thing.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. You couldn't like just listen to this song. You're not gonna think like, oh, of course it's a parody of that song.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
from the
nice
Great
spoof,
American
dude.
Song.
Yeah. I remember
Yeah.
that song from the Great American Songbook.
I will say, the more specific your parody is, the more it doesn't age well, and the more it's alienating to everybody but someone who is a super fan of whatever you're making fun of.
Yeah,
That's what I've learned.
Because I
I'll
mean,
stay
Are you attacking Weird Al right now?
well, no, I mean
No.
he uses popular ones. He does.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
And like Weird Al does like good versions. Like his songs are good. Like Weird Al's versions of all those songs are always listenable. Like
they're legitimate. Like
And
he
they're all
goes for the
still
production
really
of
yeah.
That's very true.
He's like a great
That's very
musician.
true.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So 4 out of 10 as a spoof. This is not a good spoof. Not a good spoof. Below average spoof.
Below average spoof, but it's an homage though. It's if you know
an
the
homage?
story, it's probably it's probably fun.
After hearing what you said, 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
Love it.
but-
Big fan of the homage.
But as a spoof, I feel like you're right. There, you have to have some kind of like, cultural understanding of that thing.
Is someone falling down in this? Is someone getting hit in the balls? Like these are the things you need to make it a good spoof.
Yeah.
To the grind, football to the grind.
Yeah. Well, this
Someone's
one.
eyes geting crossed.
Well, I
No,
guess
then there's no
okay,
spoof.
but I guess to talk about the lyrics a little bit, like it's making fun of the idea of like a girl being all of these different things. I guess is what he was trying to get at, because that's what the original song was talking about. Is basically objectifying this lady by saying that she's all these certain things that he thinks that she should be or whatever. But so he like
Oh no! Like even the verse 2 there.
yeah.
A pretty girl is like a violent crime. If you do it wrong, you could do time.
Oh.
If you do it right, it is sublime.
Yeah. It's like
That's
it's kind of a
getting
messed
right at the
up.
point there.
It's kind of a messed up line,
Yeah.
He doesn't want to get married, I think is what he's trying to say. He does not want to get married.
Yeah, he seems pretty adamant about that in in a couple of his tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not about that.
I wonder if he did. I wonder if he ever got married. I wonder if he ever.
I'm looking that up right now.
I'm on the Wikipedia too. Just like he seems like he may be. He's an atheist.
Was a little object to the idea of matrimony.
Yeah, I don't think he settled down.
Nope.
Shock. He wrote 69 love songs.
Yeah, I know. For a guy that wrote 69 love songs, he never, settled down, but maybe that's not what love is about for him,
There's a great quote on the Wikipedia. An interviewer quoted an anonymous reviewer to Bob Mould once and told Mould that he was the most depressed man in rock. Mould's response was, he's never met Stephin Merritt, obviously. It's a great line. Sad guy.
Yeah.
If you listen to this album, he's a sad guy.
Yeah. He like, I don't know, he needs therapy or something. He needs to like talk about this to someone other than the fans. I don't know.
Customers, yes.
Yeah. He's got a lot of hurt, I do like that. It's kind of Sinatra-esque, since we listened to songs for swinging lovers, and this I think did seem like a song that could maybe fit in that kind of line of songs, although unironically probably from Sinatra's perspective, I guess this is more ironic than anything. He's trying to be ironic on the original concept.
Right.
No, dude, this very much like aligns right up with some Sinatra stuff,
Yeah. I'm sure he listened to some Sinatra and some crooners growing
Absolutely.
up. Like he's got that kind of respect for that low bravado kind of voice.
His parents probably listened to that stuff too, or something like that.
I suppose everyone was listening to Sinatra at a certain point, like
Your statistics show that.
Yeah, my statistics show that for sure. There's a lot of Sinatra heads out there.
Yes.
You talking Sinatra to me? That should be my next podcast.
Nope.
It's a first draft. This is we're gonna move on to the next track. This is My Sentimental Melody. Here we go.
But now I can't stay, knowing it's made of beautiful lies. sentimental melody.
Always so on the nose.
An old hall song. A song you'd hear if you were in an old hall. You walk into an old hall, and this is playing off the speakers. That's what this song is.
Yeah.
Very
Or,
mellow,
I could see this at the end of a Twin Peaks episode.
Yes.
Too, like just a really weird, I don't know. Like, this isn't something that I'd want to hear in an alley or something. Like, it sounds like it's a little bit, there's something sinister about it to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that makes sense to you, if that's clicking with you
It's
guys.
like something you hear like at a really bad dive bar that you walk in, like dim lights, like, all right,
yeah.
It's like the blue.
I don't know.
I'll take a beer and a shot.
There's just something about it, But
it's got a really good
it's
feeling.
got some
to
nice.
it, though, I've totally been there.
Yeah, like this is like almost like kind of a swaying, like drunkenly kind of thing.
You see, like you get there, you sit down at the bar, and you got that kind of music playing in the background. Get your
looking
drink,
over the crowd.
shot. Yeah, seeing what's going on. You're one of the regs.
yeah. I don't know. It's I think there's a weird this song is like weird to me because like it's hard to figure out what genre this is. Like because it's like it's got like what is that the accordion. Yes, it's mostly got the accordion and like which is generally like a polka type thing. And then he's singing like a, like that 80s kind of style of singing, which, sad bravado stuff. And I don't know, it's like this song doesn't know what it is or something. I don't know. I'm getting real reactions to this one. But what do you guys think of this track?
Dripping Tom Waits, just change the vocals and it's just a guy walking around and sad and
sentimental melody.
I'm a hopeless romantic.
That's a good call, Dave. That's a really good call because like now that you said that, I'm like, yeah, actually, that is the only like context other than that, like that I could think of that would do this kind of weird thing. Yeah, Tom Waits does all sorts of weird shit like this.
Nick Cave, but usually Tom Waits for this.
Yeah. Good call, Dave. Very good call. I wrote down in my notes here Easter egg titles for 19 and 20. I wonder what that means. Let me see if
figure it out.
Let me see if that plays out.
A pretty girl is like my sentimental melody.
The original song that he is playing off of is "A Pretty Girl Is Like a Melody," and then the next track is "My Sentimental Melody." So,
now that's a good
another
spoof.
Inside joke that
that's
only
a good spoof, though.
That's a good spoof. Okay.
But that's like where you go so far into being niche that like no one could ever get that, and so that makes it a good spoof. It comes back around to being really good parody.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Rick and Morty is so
good.
That's
the key. Because they
back to the last song.
Yeah, they call back to previous stuff, previous episodes.
Yeah.
No, dude, literally, that's why Rick and Morty is so good. Because Brad, like I've literally watched it with like Johnny G before, and like I'll laugh at
co-host
like, the
of the podcast
stuff, and Johnny G will be like he'll laugh at like something and be like, oh, like what? It's like, oh yeah, you didn't watch that movie? Like,
oh yeah, there's just there's like so many jokes a minute like on that show, like in the background as far as drawings plus what they're saying. Yeah, there's just it's an insane amount of pop culture references.
Watch episode like back to back and just catch something new every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just to be on like the drawing staff of that show would be really cool. I think just because they seem to have so much fun. But you guys want to get on to track 21? We're almost through this thing. We got 3 tracks left, and this song is "Nothing Matters When We're Dancing." So here we go.
And we'll dance among the chandeliers, and nothing matters when we're dancing. In tatters, you're entrancing. Be we in Paris or in...
Those harmonies, once again,
Yeah,
they're just very nice.
they are.
That was a great clip, Brad.
Oh, thank you.
It really hit home.
I tried to
For an
pick
album,
the best 15 seconds.
For an album meant to be a take on love songs and be like tongue in cheek, a lot of these songs are better than your normal love songs. They're just very sweet. They're very nice to listen to. They make for good love songs.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, I think you're right. Like the worst of them are like above average love songs. Because like I think that there are some, maybe this is cynical, but there's some like pop stuff where like it gets to the point where it's just so far removed from like, a personal story or personal like love stuff that like it just it needs to be personal. It needs to be intimate. I want my intimate music. But this is this is another one that like kind of gets back to I think his core style, like in the Book of Love and in like the third track I can't remember the name of.
All My Little Words.
All My Little Words. Yes. Yeah, I feel like those three would fit on an album that wasn't this album.
Right. It still fits on this album, but
yeah, but like what I mean. Like they're the same like genre, I guess.
Yeah.
Does your 5-song rotation theory pay off? Is what I was just wondering. Like,
oh shit! I haven't been paying attention.
You're thinking about that. I think it kind of does still, because there's still like fast song, slower song, love song, dumb song, fast song.
Yeah, actually.
Animal song. Animal and dumb is kind of my Venn diagram.
Oh,
yeah.
And then sometimes they connect and yeah.
That being said, one of the best songs on the 3-part is an animal name title.
Oh.
That's a little tease for future.
Maybe that's what made him think it was such a great idea.
He's like, came up with one really good one.
He's like, hey, this one's great. I should do like 9 more animal songs.
Then 61 other songs.
And then
Oh, so you think that's where he started?
He
like,
started.
No. Let's see where this goes.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Let's see where this goes.
Let's see where this goes. I have all these animal ideas, guys, but I don't know. I don't know if it's got legs.
I don't know how to get them out
The other
there.
61 are just filler for the animal songs.
Yeah. I don't know. There's like love songs or something. I don't know. I'm just gonna make it about animals, but that's hilarious. But this it's pretty sweet though. It's a very sweet, endearing kind of song. Nothing matters when we're
before, like not even off this album. It's just one of those tracks I've just heard.
Yeah. I could see this being a wedding tune, like for super fans. Like is a good like at least a song for a particular dance. But they're just really into each other. Whether they're in Paris or in Lansing, they're just entranced. But I don't really have much to say about this song. It's just a sweet song.
Good dancing song.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great dancing song. But the next song is the Sweet Love Man. It's gonna get funky. Well, not funky, but I don't know.
Sweet.
It's getting sweet.
Until you've had sweet loving, there's no loving worth the name. But you can't go blind from crying all the time.
All right, Sweet Lovin' Man.
It's a very hippie song.
I really enjoyed this one. This is one of my favorites, I think. It really reminded me of like 90s, kind of like early 90s, like female vocalists that were like going against the convention, doing more alternative stuff. That's kind of what this song kind of gave me feelings of, like maybe an Alanis Morissette type thing, or
Sphere, your power pop.
Yeah,
bands.
yeah, exactly. It's I love the
Franco
vocals.
or
Yeah.
No.
Something you find at Lilith Fair.
Yes, Lilith Fair, exactly.
Little Alanis Morissette, maybe.
Yes, I said that. This is Claudia Gonson again. I believe she was in an earlier song.
Mm-hmm.
But this is her.
Dakota, she sang on. She sings throughout the albums.
Yeah, and this was I think the decision they made. Like I don't. Is she like normally a singer?
No, because I'm pretty sure most of the other albums he's the only one who sings on them in general.
Okay.
Besides like harmonies and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think this is like
okay.
Kind of they all got a chance to sing a little bit more.
Yeah.
Which is a great choice because if it was just his voice the whole time, oh boy.
Yeah, no, that
that
is a really good move for this many.
It's always great
for
to get some harmonies in there.
Yeah,
triple album. yeah.
I love his voice. Like, don't get me wrong, it's the best voice on the album, but
it's gotta mix it up.
Well, yeah, like this voice, like I don't want to say it's bad, but it's like clear that like they're not their primary thing isn't vocals. You know, like they're hitting the notes, but like they're not like putting like a lot of embellishment on that. If that makes any sense.
When she sings like "Arms of a Sweet Loving Man," she's not really hitting it like perfectly and cleanly. Like it's it's good, but it's not. Yeah.
And I think that's what like makes it.
It's
good.
endearing. Yeah. I think it's what makes it good. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I like her voice a lot.
It's like it's what she wants, but it's not. She's not sure if it's what she needs. You know.
It's almost like one of those Juno songs, but like not as campy. You know. Because there's like a
Peaches.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Like
Kenya Dawson. Yes.
Yeah, like there's some great stuff there, but there's also some like weird choices.
Sonic Youth. That's on that soundtrack, right?
Yeah. I listen to that soundtrack quite a bit. But no, I really like this track though. It's like a nice. I like it because this is like straight up from the perspective of a woman. Like this is a woman talking about, I guess, how hard it is to find a good man, that's going to, treat you right and like, let you be a full human being, which is hard to come by for a girl. So, I like the sentiment for the song. I like what it's about. Like, it's a very progressive, kind of, tune. But at the same time, it is like, it is saying like there's nothing like a sweet loving man. Like there's nothing like the love of a sweet loving man, So it's kind of like old school in that way.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. But,
very much right down that old blues lane, like.
Yeah.
You really got into the sensualness of the whole thing,
Yeah. And it's interesting to put this like right near the end of the album, because this is like I feel like this could have been the last.
It's not the end at all.
Oh, that's
for today.
Yeah. No,
today.
the end for now.
Well, you gotta remember that spark's.
That
spark's got to come back, guys.
Yeah, it'll come back around a year from now. I don't know if you mentioned this, but this is like unofficially like a Valentine's episode. Do with that what you will. We're not super romantic in this podcast.
Love is in
I don't
the
know.
air. Can you feel it?
Love is in the air.
If you want more specifics, I know this is about 69 love songs, but there's also the Sinatra
69.
episodes. So if you want some simple love stuff, there's Sinatra. We're gonna get into the last track though, since we're running on time. This is The Things We Did and Didn't Do. Last part for part 1.
All the things you said you'd never say, and you said anyway. The things we did and didn't.
I thought that was a cool choice for the ending.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, kind of questioning love and like, what's going to work or whatever. And, melancholy like he is generally. So, yeah.
Those dissonant synth notes.
The synth
bong,
notes.
bong, bong.
They should be
synth notes, not synth. No, not synth. No. I don't subscribe to this bit. I was like,
hashtag synth notes.
I'm trying to hook you in. Listen.
Oh no.
No, I'm a Star Wars nerd. What were you saying?
Oh god.
But the synth notes. Yeah.
Bum 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 bum. Yeah, that was a weird choice that they put that in the The Imperial March was in the background of the
right. Yeah, it was weird that they decided that, but love's complicated. So
stormtroopers have to find love.
Hey,
unless you're Finn, I guess. Right? Unless you're Finn, though.
Yeah, that's true. He didn't get.
Finn got shafted. But
literally,
from what we saw,
yeah. Well, not as bad as Kelly Tran though, I guess. But anyway, this isn't a Star Wars podcast. I like that though. He kind of it does. It's a refreshing song, like for the end of the album. I feel like this is a song that prepares you for the next part of the album.
Yeah.
Like a breather kind of. And then 60 what how many more? 66 more after this?
No. 46.
46. God. 46.
The next
that would be 90.
track also is a nice ease in for volume 2.
Okay.
It's a very like low key song, so this kind of plays into it really nicely too.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
This is a great end of album song though. If this was the closer, this would be a great closer.
Yeah, I agree. I think that of the songs, this is like he made a good choice.
It's not epic. It's not climactic.
The
it's just
end of part
because it shouldn't be like a cap.
Trilogy. The movie ends like, oh, all right, but like, what's happened next? And
what's coming next?
And then in part 2, Han Solo gets frozen in carbonite, and then
that's the end of the second third.
The second part. Yeah, of course.
Nick Fury shows up at the end of this one.
Yes, and tells
medals for blowing up a giant Death Star. I mean, this is where we're at.
Damn motherfucker.
Oh man. But before we get out of here though, we like to go around the horn and ask everyone what they've been listening to and give you a time for plugs. So I'll go with you, Marty, first. What have you been listening to, and do you have plugs?
So Dear Nora is a indie, what's the type, folk punk pop band. They were from Portland, Oregon. I've been listening to them a bit. They've broken up a while ago, but they had a lot of original albums and then a lot of compilation albums of old standards that they did. All their covers of old standards are all phenomenal. So go check out some Dear Nora. Dear Nora is really great.
All right. Are you a big fan of folk in general? Like
no.
No. Okay. I was just wondering because of that.
I've gotten more into like more country and folky stuff in the last few years as I've gotten older.
It happens.
You're not that much older than me, Brad. You don't get to say
I have
that.
no idea. I really don't know how old you are.
Good. You never will.
I mean, I'm clearly 18. I'm
I'm a young Zoomer. I'm 14.
Oh yeah, we are all very young in this podcast.
You actually have to get a release from
TikTok accounts?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not supposed to be drinking this. But
Dear Nora is a good band. People check out. And plugs. Go if you want to listen to my podcast, Spoofs, Goofs, and Novelty Songs. Again, on all your stuff. We've talked about it plenty.
It's a lot of fun.
And I'm not going to plug any of my other shit. So just I'll plug the podcast.
All right.
That's fine.
Cool. What about you, John? What have you been listening to or plugging?
Oh no, I've actually been listening to the Prince Paul album.
Oh yeah,
we listened to it's just been really good, very good lesson.
Speaking of the Prince Paul album, we may or may not be having the main character of that album on the Pick Apart the Passion podcast coming up in the next couple of months.
Really?
I can neither confirm or deny it in this moment, but we might be having someone from that album on Pick Apart the
Otherwise, listen to Higher Talking on Spotify.
Okay.
A friend of mine, another Falbo's survivor. Good stuff.
Yeah, me and John used to work at the same pizza place that has had tough times. And what about you, Dave? What have you been jamming on?
Well, we've been still doing here the rolling dice and getting through just random records, and that's been
okay.
Been kind of a blast.
Nice. So just every day, like a new random record?
Either at night or the weekend, just roll a 12 set of dice for the cube, and then was it a 10 set dice for the 2 digits for the record? So a 1 and 3B record, 13 out of cube, whatever.
Wow.
So I've been just pulling just a lot of just.
That's really cool. That sounds like a fun game. Yeah.
Had one I actually from Record Store that I never opened, which the Enter the Dragon soundtrack picture disc. That was actually kind of fun.
Okay. Nice.
Just a lot of random stuff. Shit.
Well, that sounds like a fun.
Zeppelin and the Allman Brothers, just a lot of weird stuff. And digitally at work, actually a lot of acoustic punk like Foundation and Frankie Stubbs. There's a singer from Leatherface, just fun.
Yeah.
Just 2 different sides of the coin, but
yeah,
stuff like that.
Nice.
Oh, that's great stuff to listen to, though.
Hell yeah, that sounds like a fun. Sides of the story. That sounds like a fun game, though. Like just I'm gonna roll the dice, I'm gonna grab his disc, throw it on.
You have no idea.
Yeah.
So the most random pull so far has been the Beverly Hills Cop soundtrack.
Oh, that rips though. That's so good.
Yeah,
XLF is such a good song.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that sometime. That sounds like a great night, honestly. As for me, I've been listening to exclusively the Album Concept Hour Desert Island Discord playlist, and I will be listening to that until we get 50 people on our Discord, which you can find in the description. But I'm enjoying it, guys. It's giving me a lot of nostalgia. I feel like we got a good mix of songs. There's 126 on it. And it's from anyone that has joined the Discord and given us their Desert Island 5. So if you want to contribute, go to our Discord, give us your Desert Island 5, and we will add it to our Spotify and YouTube playlists. And as for what I'm plugging Pick Apart the Passion this week, because we have a lot of guests coming up in the next couple of months. We had Illogic a few weeks ago. We have Rob Hayes, who was in the movie Alexandra, who is going to be on the podcast soon. And they're on video, they're on YouTube. Check them out. We have a lot of stuff going on with that one. So that is it for me. Thank you, Marty, for joining us for the podcast. We made it through.
You're awesome, bro.
This was a long one.
Thanks for having me, guys.
This was a long one because there's a lot of
every time,
a lot of tracks. But thank you for powering through.
I was glad you were like, let's just do the first.
Yeah, no.
Thank God.
Yeah. No, it's just I was looking at it. I'm like, so you want to do the 69 love songs? Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Saturday morning and run all day.
I love this album so much.
Yeah.
Any opportunity to talk about this album, I love this album so much.
Well, hey, maybe we'll have you back next year to get into the second part. Maybe we'll get Stephin in or something. Yeah, get more people involved in this Valentine's thing. But thanks everyone for listening to the Album Concept Hour, and we will see you guys next week or in the Discord. Bye. Thanks for listening. The Album Concept Hour is Brad LeBaron, Dave Gallagher, John Aker, and Scott Wesley. Special thanks to King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard for the theme music. Please like us on Facebook or friend us on Twitter or MySpace and let us know what concept album you would like to hear on the podcast. See you on Side B. This is Flyover State Park. You are clear to land.